Welcome all. Today we are moving to the last section of this chapter, that is the semi-technical description of a typical flowering plant. Okay, so actually in this portion what we are moving to deal with is, with the help of morphological features we are describing a flowering plant. Okay, with the help of morphological features we are describing a flowering plant. So all the features that we already discussed about the stem, root, flowers, seed, fruit. Okay, so the technical portions we already completed. Then how we are going to use all these terms, that we are moving to discuss now. Okay, so with the help of morphological features we are used to describe a flowering plant. The two new terms, that are floral formula and floral diagram. Okay, then when you are describing a flowering plant, that description should be brief. When you are describing a flowering plant, that description should be in brief. Okay, brief means there is no need to frame any complicated sentences. Like suppose for an example, when a flower is in bisexual condition, there is no need to write the flower is in bisexual condition. Just instead of that, you just want to write flower hyphen bisexual. That's enough. Which means the description should be as much as brief, and it should be in simple words. No need to make complicated words like flower hyphen flower contain both male reproductive organ and female reproductive organ. That's no need. Okay, instead of that you can use simple words, that is bisexual. Then it should be in a scientific language. So we cannot use any local languages or any other communicable language. We should use scientific language to describe a typical flowering plant, and it should be in a proper sequence. It should be presented in a proper sequence. Okay, actually there is a proper order is there to describe a flower. That order may contain several categories. Okay, so we want to follow that order. Before describing a flower, we want to make, or we want to categorize these description into habit, vegetative characters and floral characters. So the plant description can be done by 3 stages, that is habit, vegetative characters and floral characters. Okay, so what is habit? In this area, that is in the case of a description, we will use the meaning habit for whether the plant belong to herb, shrub or tree. Okay, whether the plant belong to a herb state, or whether it is belong to shrub plant, or whether it is belong to tree. Okay, that is we use as habit. And other than this, runners are there, then prostrates, then climbers are there. Okay, so that all things we will used. Then next one is vegetative characters. Vegetative characters includes root, stem and leaves. Okay, in case of roots, the root can be either taproot system or the root can be of fibrous root system. Then come to stem. The stem can be herbaceous stem, or the stem can be woody or softened stem. Then come to leaf. Leaves are of what? Simple leaf can be there, or compound leaf. If the leaf is compound, that are of 2 types, that is pinnately compound and palmately compound. Okay, then the type of venation, whether it is reticulate venation or whether it is what? Parallel venation. Then come to the phyllotaxy, alternate phyllotaxy, opposite phyllotaxy or whorled phyllotaxy. Okay, and also any other features, maybe some hair like structures can be present in the leaf, or some shining appearance can be present on the leaf surface. Okay, and pulvinous leaf base can be seen. So all these data should be comes in the leaves of the vegetative characters. Then the third one is the floral characters. Floral characters may include what? Inflorescence. What type of inflorescence? Whether it is cymose inflorescence or racemose inflorescence or special type of inflorescence. Then come to the flower parts. Okay, flower parts means whether the flower is bisexual or unisexual, whether the flower is actinomorphic in condition or zygomorphic in condition. Then whether the flower has how many sepals are there. Sepals means calyx. So how many sepals are there, and the sepals are free or fused. Then come to the petals, whether the petals are fused or free in condition. Then come to androecium, stamens, how many stamens are there, and the condition, whether they are in monadelphous condition or diadelphous condition or polyadelphous condition. Then whether the stamens are attached to the petals, that condition is called epipetalous. Okay, so whether there is any epipetalous condition, then the other condition is epiphyllous condition. Epiphyllous condition means the stamens attached to perianth. Okay, that is called epiphyllous condition. What is perianth? Instead of this calyx corolla differentiation, there is only a single word, that is called perianth. Individual unit of perianth are called tepals. Okay, so then come to the last, that is gynoecium. What is the nature of gynoecium? Whether they are monocarpillary or what, bicarpillary, tricarpillary. Okay, and whether the ovary is in superior condition, inferior condition, or half inferior, half superior condition. All these data we combined. Okay, all this data we combined and we will frame a formula for that. Okay, by using certain symbols, we will frame a formula. That formula is called floral formula. Okay, by using all this data, we will draw some diagram. That diagram is called floral diagram. Okay, so if we see a floral formula, we can easily say that, okay, that flower is in these conditions. Or if we see a floral diagram, we can easily describe a flower. Okay, so that is the main motive. Then, after describing so many various parts of the plant, we want to present or we want to prepare floral diagram and floral formula. Okay, the floral formula is represented by some symbols, and the floral diagram, which we are provides information about the number of parts of flower, how many parts are there, and their arrangement. Okay, and their arrangement and the relation between one another. Okay, so all these things which we are combined and going to look in the upcoming slides. Then, these are the signs or symbols which we are used for the floral diagram. These are the signs or symbols which we are used for the floral diagram. Okay, so this is the mother axis. This is the mother axis. We will discuss what is mother axis. Okay, you will never be clear when I say it in orally. I will show some pictures so you will be clear. So this is the symbol of mother axis, and this is how we will represent the sepal. Sepal is the individual unit of calyx. Then come to petal. Okay, so petals are the individual unit of corolla. Then the petal with nectar gland. Maybe in some plants the petals having some nectar producing glands are there. Okay, so if some plants having any nectar producing glands in the petals, we will represent like this. Then staminoid condition will be represented either using a dot or using a cross. So what is staminoid? Staminoid is called sterile stamen. Staminoid is called the sterile stamen. Then if the stamens are in dithecous condition, we will use this sign. If it is in monothecous condition, we will use this sign, that is kidney shaped structure. Then monocarpillary gynoecium. If the gynoecium is in monocarpillary condition, we will use this sign, and if it is in bicarpillary condition, we will use this symbol. Then come to multicarpillary gynoecium. If the gynoecium having more than 2 carpel, then we will use this symbol. Then disc secreting nectars. Okay, so this is more complex signs which is using. You need not to study that thing. Why? Because this is only periphery. Okay, only some simple 3 families are in the syllabus for you to teach. Then monadelphous androecium. Monadelphous androecium means all the stamens are united to form a single tubular structure. That is called monadelphous. Okay, here you can see a single tube is there. From that tube, all the stamens are attached. That is called monadelphous condition. Then come to the syngenesious androecium. Syngenesious androecium means stamens are fused but the filaments are free. Monadelphous means filaments are fused but the anthers are free. Filaments are fused, anthers are free, but in case of syngenesium, the anthers are fused but filaments are free. Okay, then so these are the symbols which we are used to prepare floral formula, and this is the floral diagram. This is a sample floral diagram. Okay, then bract. We already discussed what is bract. Okay, so a leaf-like structure which is present on the base of the pedicel. Base of the pedicel. Pedicel is the stalk of the flower. Okay, so if a flower having a bract, we will call them as bractate. Okay, so we will represent BR for those having bract. Then calyx, we will represent K, letter K for calyx. Then we will represent letter C for corolla. We will represent letter P for perianth, then capital A for andrecium, then capital G for gynoecium. If the ovary is in superior condition, we will draw a line just below the letter G. Okay, if the ovary is in inferior condition, we will draw a line just above the G. Okay, then these things you already know, what we will use for male and what condition we will use for female, then what condition we will use for bisexual. Then actinomorphic. If the flower is actinomorphic means we can divide a flower into two equal halves by passing the plane through the central axis through any radial plane. Okay, so if we draw a circle and put a plus sign inside the circle, it represents actinomorphic. Okay, if it is zygomorphic, you can use percentage sign, or you just draw a circle and you just draw one vertical line, no need of a horizontal line. Okay, so that is called zygomorphic. Then what are the conditions which we used for fusion and adhesion? Fusion, we already know, if the sepals are fused, we will call as gamosepalous, and if the petals are fused, we will call as gamopetalous. Okay, just like that, if fusion is there, we will use brackets. To represent the fusion. And if there is any adhesion, that means if the stamens are attached to the petals, or if the andrecium are attached to somewhere. Okay, just like that, any other features, that is any other attachments are there, we will use what? Line drawn over the floral parts. Which floral part attached to which floral part. So we will use a line to attach, or we will use a line to drawn from that two floral parts. Okay, that indicate that those two floral parts are attached or adhere to each other. So these are the various type of what? Symbols which we are used to frame floral formula. And this is the what? Floral diagram. So this is the mother axis. I will tell you what is mother axis later. And these are the sepals. Okay, these are the outermost. Actually, we will draw the floral diagram from the what? From the outer wall of the floral parts to inner wall. Okay, so mother axis is the outer wall, then bract will come, then the next wall is called calyx, that is the individual unit sepal, then other it is petal, the individual unit is the other is corolla and the individual unit is pectal. Then inner to it is called andrecium and it has individual stamens. Then finally the innermost one is gynoecium, that is carpel. Okay, so just like this we will describe a floral diagram. Okay, so here I will tell you what is mother axis. So mother axis means this is the stem. And flower which faces upward. Here the flower is faces upward. Okay, so this is the posterior condition. Of flower. Okay, so in this condition we will put the mother axis on the top of the floral diagram. Suppose the flower is in the downward condition. We will put the mother axis on the anterior position. Okay, so if the flower is in the upward condition, we will use the mother axis at the posterior part of the floral diagram. If the flower is in the downward condition, we will use the mother axis on the what? Anterior portion. Okay, so that is mother axis. Then come to calyx. You know this is the calyx part. This green cup shaped structure is called what? Calyx. Okay, so we will represent calyx as this. And here the calyx are fused. So we will use this symbol to indicate that these calyx are in fused condition. This symbol. Okay. Then come to bracteole. Bracteole, there is you have no such floral features in your three families. Even though I will tell you what is bracteole. Bracteole is the small hairy leaf-like structure. Which is present in between the bract and the stalk of the pedicel. Okay, this is calyx. And this is the base of the pedicel. So if you see any small hairy like or leafy like structure in between this, that is called bracteole. Then bract, you know, there is a leaf like structure which is found on the base of the pedicel is called bract. Okay, so this is a picture which represents how we are drawing. So the sepals are represent as like this. So this is the sepals. Then this is the petal, that is corolla. Then this is the stamen, and this is the pistil, that is carpel. Okay, this is how we. So all these here, all these are not in what, fused condition. All are free condition. That's why there is no unison between individual units. Okay, so these are the basics regarding floral formula and floral diagram. Now we are moving to the families. Okay, only 3 families are there to study, that is Fabaceae, Solanaceae and Liliaceae. Only 3 families are there. So Fabaceae, in the previous lecture video we already discussed about, so there are so many features which are unique to the family Fabaceae. Okay, diadelphous stamens are unique to the family Fabaceae. Then vexillary type of estivation is common, or it is unique to the Fabaceae family. Just like that we already discussed so many features. Okay, so this is the Fabaceae family, that is pea family, that is peas, beans, all these are comes under this family. Okay, so this is the habitat of the plant. Sorry, this is the habit of the plant. Okay, and this is the leaves and all other things, vegetative characters. And this is the floral characters. This is the flower, and this is the individual floral parts, and this is the gynoecium, and this is the stamens. Look, this is clearly saying the diadelphous condition. Okay, so all the stamens are united to form a group, and one single stamens are in another group. That is why diadelphous condition. Okay, so this is some. Look here, the flower is in the upward condition. So the mother axis should be in the posterior position of the floral diagram. Then you can see the what, sepals, petals, gynoecium and everything. Come to the description part of Fabaceae. Okay, so vegetative characters. They are mainly, the habit can be trees, shrub, herb, and it has root with root nodules. Okay, so what are the vegetative characters? The habit, mainly the habit may be, it can be a trees, shrubs, herb. Okay, so all types of plants we can see under the Fabaceae family. And the major specific feature regarding the Fabaceae family is they have root nodules which are present in the roots. Root nodules are present in the roots. Okay, so actually these root nodules have, inside the root nodules we can see certain bacteria, and these bacteria helps in the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so that is the feature of Fabaceae family. Then come to the stem. Stem can be erect or climber. Okay, stem can be erect or climber type. Then leaf, alternate, pinnately compound or simple leaf. Alternate leaf, alternate, the definition we already discussed. Then pinnately compound leaves can be seen, or simple leaves also can be seen under Fabaceae family. Then base of the leaf. Okay, leaf base is pulvinate and condition. We already discussed what is pulvinate. Then stipules are present in the leaf base. Stipules means small hairy leaf-like structure which is present on the base, that is leaf base, that are called stipules. And the plants which have stipules we will call as stipulate. And the venation is in reticulate condition. Okay, so network of veins and valens which are present on the leaf blade, that is reticulate venation. Come to the floral parts. Racemose type of inflorescence can be seen in Fabaceae family, and the flower is bisexual and zygomorphic. Okay, so you just take a flower which comes under the Fabaceae family and just try to describe by yourself. Then calyx. If you count number of sepals, you can see 5 sepals can be seen in calyx. Then they are gamosepalous, which means the sepals are fused and they show imbricate estivation. We already discussed 5 types of estivation. Then come to the corolla. Okay, the petals are in 5. The petals 5 numbers, and they are polypetalous in condition. Polypetalous means they are unfused or in free condition. Then papilionous. Okay, papilionous corolla. Papilionous corolla means, what is papilionous corolla? Which means the anthers which adhere, not adhere, which shows a what, tubular corolla. Okay, the anther which is present inside that tubular corolla, that is called papilionous. Then consists of posterior, that is the corolla which is arranged in the vexillary distribution. It has 2 standard petal, 2 wing petal and 1 keel petal. Then come to the androecium. Androecium, the number of androecium are 10. 10 number of androecium we can see, and they are in diadelphous condition, and the anther are dithecous. Okay. Then come to the gynoecium. Ovary are superior and they are monocarpellary, which means only single carpellary is present. Then unilocular. Inside the ovary we can see only a single locules. Inside the locule we can see many ovules. And the style is single. Single means only a single style is present. Then come to the fruit type. Okay, the fruit is legume type and the seed is 1 to many, which are non-endospermic in nature. So all these things which we understood by seeing a plant. Okay, all these things which we are understood by seeing and examining a plant. Now, with the help of all these features, with the help of all this description, we are framing a formula and a diagram. So, this is the formula and diagram of Fabaceae family. Look, zygomorphic. The flower is, you can see the zygomorphic, and they are unisexual in condition. They are unisexual in condition. And calyx 5 and they are in fused condition. Corolla, they are in what? Vexillary situation. Only 2 petals are fused. Only in vexillary, look, this is not fused and these 2 are also not fused, and only this 2 petals are fused. That is the keel petals are fused. That's why only bracket is given to 2. Okay, one among the 5 petals, only 2 petals are fused. That's why we give bracket to only this number. Okay, then the androecium. Androecium, we can see 9 androecium are fused to form 1 adelphi, and 1 is another adelphi. That is, and all the 9 stamens are in fused condition. That's why bracket given to the what? Number of stamens, that is 9 plus 1. 1 is not in fused condition. Then gynoecium. Gynoecium is having superior ovary and there is only a single what? That is monocarpal. Single carpel is there. That is why we put 1. Gynoecium 1. So this is the floral formula. Okay, this is the floral formula. So actually they are what? Actually they are not unisexual. Actually they are bisexual in condition. I forgot to add that plus sign. Okay. Then come to the economic importance. Okay, with the help of these formula we are drawing the what? We are drawing the flora diagram. So there are 5 sepals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sepals, and these 5 sepals are fused. That's why we connected the sepals. Then come to the petals. It is in the, and they are in the what condition? They are in imbricate distribution. Okay, actually it is not shown properly in this picture. That is the imbricate distribution. Okay, then imbricate distribution as well as valvate distribution also can be seen in Fabaceae family. And the mother axis we just put here, it is zygomorphic. That's why only a single vertical line is present in the mother axis. Then the vexillary distribution, 1 petal is extremely outward and 2 petals are in twisted condition, twisted means 1 end is overlapped and 1 end overlaps. Then 2 keel petals are completely overlapped under the other 2 petals. Okay, so that is the vexillary situation. And come to the stamen part. 9 stamens united to form a single adelphi, and singular stamen act as another adelphi. So diadelphous condition. Okay, then come to the gynoecium. They are monocarpellary, superior ovary. And what are the economic importance? Many plants which belong to the family are used as a source of pulses, that is gram, moong dal, soya bean. Then we will get edible oil, groundnut oil, soya bean oil, and we can use as what? Dye. Okay, preparation of dye. Then we can use as fibers, fodder, ornamentals and medicine. So these are the economic importance. Then come to the another family, that is Solanaceae family. Okay, Solanaceae family. This picture which clearly gives that the anthers are fused but the stamens are not fused. Then come to the vegetative characters. Okay, the plant mostly it comes in herb, shrub and rarely small trees. Okay, so the plants are, the habit are herb, shrub and rarely they are small trees. Then stem, herbaceous stem means soft stem, and they are rarely woody in nature. Mostly they are herbaceous but rarely woody in nature. Then aerial stems which we can see, and the stem are in erect, cylindrical, branched, solid or hollow condition, and we can see some hair or glabrous. Okay, hairy means presence of hair. Glabrous means there is no presence of hair. Okay, hairy means presence of hair. Glabrous means there is no presence of hair. Then in some cases this underground stem is modified. Okay, some cases underground stem modification can be seen. Example, potato, that is Solanum tuberosum. Okay, then come to the leaf. Leaves are alternate, simple and rarely pinnated compound having exstipulate. Exstipulate means there is no presence of stipule. Exstipulate means there is no stipule. Then the venation is reticulate venation. Venation is reticulate venation. Then what are the floral characters? The inflorescence is cymose or axillary cymose. Okay, we can say they may be solitary flowers can be seen, or maybe axillary flowers. Axillary flowers means flowers which produce on the axial part, and they show cymose type of inflorescence in Solanum. Okay, cymose type of inflorescence can be seen in Solanum. Then flower is bisexual and actinomorphic and having 5 sepals, and they are united and persistent sepals. We can see persistent sepals in Solanaceae family. Persistent sepals in Solanaceae family. Example, brinjal. Okay, then valvate type of estivation can be seen in the calyx. Then come to the corolla. Petals are 5 in number and they are fused and valvate estivation. Okay, so there is not that much complicated in Solanaceae family. Then andrecium, 5 in number and they are epipetalous in condition. Epipetalous means the stamens are attached to the petals. Then come to the gynoecium. We can see bicarpellary and fused gynoecium. Okay, we can see 2 carpels and that carpels are in fused condition, and we can see superior ovary, and inside the ovary there are 2 locules. That is why it is bilocular, and the placenta is solan with many ovules. We can see solan placenta. We can see solan placenta containing many ovules. Okay, and the fruit type is called berry or capsule. Okay, at the time of teaching fruit, I already told you that there are so many different type of fruits. Okay, example is berry, capsule. So one of the example is Solanaceae. It will show berry and capsule. Then seeds. Many seeds will be produced and they are endospermous seeds. Okay, so by using all these description data, we will frame the floral formula. Okay, they are what? Actinomorphic and they are bisexual, and the calyx is 5 and they are fused, and corolla 5 fused, and both calyx and corolla is in valvate condition. Then which means the sepals or petals never overlap, and you can see the stamens and having a connection with the corolla, that is stamens having connection with the petals, which indicates the epipetalous condition. That's why we uses this symbol. Okay, so the corolla may attach to the andrecium, or the andrecium may attach to the corolla. Okay, why? Because stamens are attached to the petals. That's why we use that symbol as a feature of adhesion. Then andrecium, there is 2 stamens. Okay, mainly 2 stamens, and they are in fused condition. Here in your picture you can see there are many stamens. Okay, actually this is not a floral diagram of a particular plant. This is the representation of the entire family. That's why maybe so many variations are there. Okay, and then come to the gynoecium. Gynoecium having superior ovary, and you can see 2 carpels. Okay, I forgot to mention that too. You can see 2 carpels. This is 1 carpel. This is 1 locules, and this is 1 locule. Inside the locules you can see many ovules. Okay, so bicarpellary and syncarpous superior ovary with bilocular having many ovules. So these are about Solanaceae. Come to the economic importance of Solanaceae. Okay, so it can be used as a source of food like tomato, brinjal, potato, and we can use as a source of spices, that is chili, and medicine properties also they are showing, and fumigatory process, that is tobacco we will use as a fumigatory. Then in case of ornamentals, that is petiuna. Okay, then come to the other family, that is called Liliaceae. Okay, other family that is called Liliaceae. It is somewhat complicated family. Okay, so the vegetative characteristics of Liliaceae, that is perennial herbs. Mainly we can see the habitat is in perennial herbs. Okay, perennial herbs with underground bulb, culms or rhizome. Okay, perennial herbs and mainly the stems are underground bulb, culm or rhizome. Okay, Liliaceae is actually the family of onion. You can see the stems only under the soil, that is the underground bulb. Okay, we already discussed what is bulb, culm and rhizome, that is the underground stem modification. Then leaves. Leaves are mostly basal leaves, we can see. Okay, the leaves, if you just remember the structure of, this is the structure of onion. If you can see, if you understand the structure, you can, the leaves are in basal and they are alternately arranged and they are linear and there is no stipules are present with parallel venation. You can see parallel venation in Liliaceae family. Okay, then come to the floral characters. They may be solitary flowers are there and the inflorescence is in cymose condition. Okay, if the flower is solitary, it may be in single flower, and suppose inflorescence can be seen, it is in the what, cymose condition, or we can see umbel condition. Okay, we already discussed there are so many types of inflorescence, so it is called umbellate. Okay, so umbel type of inflorescence also seen. So solitary flower can be seen, cymose can be seen, or umbel type of inflorescence can be seen. Then flower is bisexual and actinomorphic. Okay, so you know what is bisexual and what is actinomorphic, but here you can't see the differentiation of sepals and petals. You can't see the differentiation of sepals and petals. Okay, instead of that sepals and petals, there is a single whorl that is called perianth. There is a single whorl called perianth, and the individual unit of perianth is called tepals. Individual unit of perianth is called tepals. Okay, there are 6 number of tepals, but these 6 are arranged in 2 whorls. Okay, actually there is no differentiation of calyx and corolla. Only a single type of whorl are present that are called tepals or perianth, but they are arranged in 2 whorl manner. They are arranged in 2 whorl. That is why 3 plus 3. Okay, and they are fused condition. That's why we use that they are in, I think so, they are in fused condition. Yes, then and they fused to form a tubular structure and they shows a valvate distribution. Then come to the andrecium. There are 6 andrecium also arranged in 2 whorls, that is 3 plus 3, and they are united. And gynoecium is tricarpellary. There are 3 carpels present and they are fused condition, and we can see superior ovary and we can see 3 locules having many ovules, and the placentation type is axial placentation. Placentation type is axial placentation. We can see marginal type of placentation in Fabaceae family. Marginal type of placentation in Fabaceae family. Axial type of placentation in Liliaceae family. Okay, and the fruit are capsule fruit can be seen, and rarely berry type of fruits also can be seen in Liliaceae family. Then come to the seed part. Seeds can be endospermous seed. Seed can be endospermous. So this is the structure of structure, that is the floral diagram and floral formula. Here bracts are present and it is actinomorphic, bisexual, and petals. Petals having 3 tepals arranged in 1 whorl and 3 tepals arranged in second whorl. Okay, you can see this is 1, 2, 3. 3 are arranged in 1 whorl and other 3 are arranged in other whorl. Okay, so that's why it is represented as 3 plus 3 and they are fused. That is why we put bracket. Then andrecium also arranged in 3 manner. Okay, 1, 2, 3, they are attached to the first whorl of tepals and another 3 attached to the second whorl of tepal. So that's why we put as 3 plus 3 and we just put parenthesis or bracket around the what? Andrecium number. Then come to the gynoecium. So we want to put the what? Line between the andrecium and perianth. Why? Because to indicate the adhesion between the stamens and the tepals. And finally the gynoecium, they are tricarpellary and they are syncarpous condition and it is superior. That's why we mark that line under the letter G. So these are about the floral diagrams. Okay, so come to, so that's all about Liliaceae family. Then finally the economic importance. Many plants which belong to these families we can use as good ornamentals. Okay, then we can use as medicine, vegetables, and also we can use as colchicine. Okay, we can use as colchicine. You will study colchicine in the plant tissue culture technique, which will become in your upcoming classes. That is in the next year you will study plant tissue culture. Okay, so that's all about families. Then only a few questions are available in your book bag. All questions are easy only. That's why I just going to say the questions along with this video. So book bag question. First question is, what is mean by modification of root? What type of modification of root is found in banyan tree, turnip and mangroves? Okay, so first you want to say what is the root modification, then you want to say what are the type of modification which you can see in banyan tree, turnip and mangroves. Banyan tree you can see prop roots. Okay, in turnip the turnip the roots are modified for the storage of food, and in case of mangrove trees you can see pneumatophores, which helps in the transfer of gaseous exchange, or in the helps in the transfer of oxygen or carbon dioxide, that is the gaseous exchange. Okay, then next one is justify the following statements. First one is, underground part of a plant are not always root. Correct. Maybe underground stem can be seen. Okay, so just write about the underground stem with some example. Then flower is a modified shoot. Yes, obviously flower is a modified shoot. Okay, so only during the flowering season the apical meristem which gives the floral meristem. Okay, only the flowering season the apical meristem will give rise to a floral meristem. At that time always there will be what? Leaves are there. Okay, and the axis of the stem gets condensed. The stem axis get condensed, and the internodes which lie each other. Okay, so the internode which lie each other, and finally instead of leaves floral appendages arises from the node. Okay, so we can say the flower is a modified shoot. Then third question, how is pinnately compound leaf differ from palmately compound leaf? So pinnately compound leaf, the leaflets are attached to the common axis. Pinnately compound leaves means the leaflets are attached to the common axis, that is called rachis. Okay, but in case of palmately compound leaves the leaflets are attached at a common point on the leaf stalk. Okay, common point on the leaf stalk. Pinnately compound leaves example cassia, whatever example which you know, neem. Okay, tamarind. Then come to palmately compound leaves example silk, cotton, nerium. Okay, so that's all about pinnate question number 3. Then come to question number 4. Explain with the suitable example the difference of different types of phyllotaxy. Alternate what is phyllotaxy? Then alternate phyllotaxy, opposite phyllotaxy, world phyllotaxy. Each phyllotaxy having one example. That's enough. Then question number 5. Define the following terms. What is estivation? What is placentation? What is actinomorphic? What is zygomorphic? Superior ovary, perigynous flower and epipetalous stamen. All the things you know. Then differentiate between racemose and cymose inflorescence, fibrous roots and adventitious roots, apocarpous ovary and syncarpous ovary. All these things also you may know. We already discussed all these things. Okay. Then draw Okay, actually I forgot to mention one question, that is 7th question I just missed. Just draw the labeled diagram of following gram seed and maize seed, that is one dicot seed and one monocot seed. You want to draw and mention all the parts of dicot seed and monocot seed. Then describe modification of stem with suitable example. Okay, stem modification, that is undergone stem modification. Then supportive stem modification, that is tendril. Then protective stem modification, that is thorn. Photosynthetic stem modification, that is opuntia. Okay, so all these things you just mentioned. Then the next one is a assignment for you. Take one flower of each family, Fabaceae and Solanaceae, and write the semi-technical description by using that flower. Today we discuss all these things, but only all that are what? Common to the family. But if you take individual flowers, it may differ. Okay, if you considering individual flowers under that family, it may differ from each other. Okay, then next question. Describe the various type of placentation. We already discussed marginal placentation, then parietal placentation, axial placentation, basal placentation, okay, free central placentation. That all already we discussed. Then what is a flower? Describe the parts of a typical angiosperm flower. So simple. Okay, you just describe what is flower, then calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Okay, just simply describe. Then how do the various leaf modification help in plants? Leaves are modified in the form of tendrils for climbing and modified to form spines, okay, to protect or as a organ of defense. Then modified in the form of what? Picture to as a nutrition. So we already discussed the modification of leaves. Okay, that you just write. Then define the term inflorescence. Explain the basis of the different types of inflorescence in flowering plants. So inflorescence, the definition of inflorescence. Then two types, racemose inflorescence and cymose inflorescence, each having one example. Next question. Write the floral formula of an actinomorphic bisexual hypogynous flower with 5 united sepals, 5 free petals, 5 free stamens and 2 united carpels. Okay, so with superior ovary and axial placentation. I already done that solution to you, but before seeing this you just try to write it your own. Okay, so this is the what floral formula: actinomorphic bisexual, 5 sepals with united state, then 5 petals free, then 5 stamens free, gynoecium that is bicarpellary, then that is 2 carpels, they are superior ovary having axial placentation. If you draw the floral diagram, okay, so I am giving you a task that you want to draw the floral diagram with the help of this floral formula. Okay, draw the floral diagram with the help of this floral formula, and this is your assignment. All of you should submit it. Then last question is, describe the arrangement of floral members in relation to their insertion of thalamus. That also we already discussed. Hypogynous, perigynous, epigynous. Okay. So that's all about this chapter. So we winding up this chapter. This is so easy. You just prepare it. Okay. That's all about today.